Howdy, hello everyone. How's it going? William Stuart here alongside Jen Mounts, and we are thrilled to be joined by Damon Heta. New World Cup champion. How about that? Damon, you're from Perth, Australia, 19th on the PDC Order of Merit right now. I kind of want to ask you, you've now been on the tour since 2020. You earned your card there in January. How has the transition been for you? I know that you're now living in the UK. How's that transition been for you?
Yeah, cheers for having us on. Look, it's been smooth for me, to be honest. Just a lot of help. I've had a lot of help with everything, pretty much. The only thing was it was the planning of 2018 when I made the decision to come and do it, and we just planned for it, we saved for it, and then just all the good people around in the dart scene where that the friends that Kyle made. They sort of just welcomed me in. So it's been smooth sailing for me and for myself, and if other people were to do sort of the same thing, hopefully I could do the same for them.
Oh, that's good, because I think a lot of the North Americans can kind of lend to that story of, do I make the transition over? Do I not? Do I stay? Do I travel? What's kind of that been like? So being that Simon's been on the tour now for some time and has made that transition over to the UK, do you look for him for advice or guidance or even just encouragement at all?
Oh, not so much Simon, because I was close with Kyle at the time. And he pretty much just showed me the ropes from the start. So I got a lot to thank for Kyle. And but no, when it comes to World Cup stuff, obviously, yeah, he's been there every year and he's got all the experience and knowledge. So anything he tells me or something, I just take it on board and yeah, try and use it wisely.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned Kyle there, because it must have felt nice to kind of lift that World Cup with Simon and kind of have Kyle there. In essence, kind of, it was just nice to see that happen for you guys after a heartbreaker for Simon back in 2012. For you guys just to lift that title and lift it in style. You guys played well. I wanted to ask you about the near nine darter. What was going through your mind after you hit that 180? I saw you mentioned a couple words to Simon. What was said?
I think I think I was just said unlucky. They would have been like it would have been really amazing just to it would have been something else. You know what I mean? Just to the first ones to sort of get it in the pairs in the World Cup. That would have been, yeah, it would have been great. But at the end of the day, I was just, we got the win, and that's more important than all the flashy stuff. You know what I mean? Obviously, I did all the hard work hitting the second 180, and then Simon had the easy job of trying to put it away, and he did it.
I was going to put it that way. You did all the hard work coming up there, living up and smashing in another one. He's just got to do it and hit the actual thing. It was just outside. Man, what a heartbreaker that was. But to lift the title must feel really nice. Jen, did you want to go?
World,
yeah.
I was just going to say, the world seemed really behind you guys. Whatever country they were rooting for, every comment I saw, they were like, well, I was really rooting for Wales or whomever. But if anyone was going to win the title, I'm glad it was the Aussies. So you certainly, I think, had the entire world's attention on your back and appreciation and support. And that's definitely a different feeling. Not only are you shooting for country, but you've got the respect and love and attention of the entire world. So I don't know if you guys could feel that in competition, or or did you notice that afterwards?
Yeah, I think just like watching, we were, what would you say? I think we were probably classified as like the underdogs at the time. And with the crowd, oh man, the European people, they just love Simon. He's obviously a main character. He's of Australia, Australia's #1 for so long, and been in the game for so long. Yeah, the people just love him and got behind him, and I was along obviously for me, and that's what I think it is. A lot of sports people in sports games and whatever. I think everyone loves to see sort of dog get through, and I think just the way we did it with a bit of heartbreak for the last two years, where the only 2 years that I played in previous, we lost to Wales. So to get over the line in a final against Wales, oh man, that was massive, absolutely massive. I couldn't ask for any better.
Oh, I would certainly not classify you all as underdogs. I think you're deadly sleepers in any tournament to win. I mean, regardless of Simon's history, I think you for yourself, you're certainly growing in popularity, especially in the United States. I think there's a much bigger demand to see cool things from you. And again, we really are appreciative that you even want to talk to an American company, because we don't get these opportunities a whole lot. And we've been working really hard to try to bridge the gap of bringing awareness to the absolute top of the game, because we kind of focus, I think, a little bit on just more our own bubble. And in order to grow and get on everyone else's level, we need that standard to look towards. And with as much of a media schedule as you guys have, again, like we truly are appreciative. And anytime you want to connect more with some American talent, we're here for you as a resource. I just wanted to put that out there before I forget.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think we just need to grow the sport everywhere in the world, and how massive will that be if like the whole world got involved? Oh, then the game will just keep growing and growing, and obviously the standard, even that standard now is getting a bit like ridiculous. People, number 128 in the world, he's hitting 100 averages for fun as well, and it's like, oh, gee.
Yes.
I mean, you want to grow it in one sense, but in another sense, you probably don't want to grow it in a personal level.
Look at the recent Dutch Masters. I mean, 6 out of the top 8 that were there. I mean, they got ousted in the first round. That shows the talent level that we're dealing with globally, not just in Europe anymore. I mean, everybody can compete, and everybody can have that one match or two that really gets their name out in front with maybe a triple-digit average, and anybody can throw those nowadays.
Yeah, it looks that way, especially on those pro tours. Man, it's so deadly. Even 9 darters. Matt Campbell hit one against me. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like unexpectedly, but you got to expect it.
I'm glad you mentioned Matt. That's good. That's good.
Matt Campbell has one of the better kind of background, like, what do they call it, a backstory, because he was just a completely unknown in the United States from Canada, and the championship dart circuit, our pro circuit here, went into Canada for some of their tours. He decided to just qualify in, of course, same day, makes it all the way to the semifinal, loses against Darren Young, his very first CTC event. And, he's getting interviewed after, and he's like, I don't know if I'll do this again. 1 year later, he's in England. He's in England representing the United States. And it's just mind-boggling to think.
Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And obviously I can relate to them guys, you know what I mean? Jeff Smith and Danny Baggish, had a couple of practices with him. So, they're sort of in the same boat, you know what I mean? It's only, it's still an 8-hour flight or 10, 12. It would still be the same if it was 20 hours or something, because it's a lot of, to commute and to commute from that far, it's tough going, real tough going. You want to, and that's why, I made the decision to move and live in the UK. That way I'm just giving myself a full 100%. And I just want to, leave no rock unturned, so to say.
Well, talking about travel, I mean, I wanted to mention this because where you were at before, I mean, I didn't know how massive Australia was until I really looked. You were in Perth. Where the events are going to be held in Australia are like 40 hours away, 2,365 miles from Perth to Wollongong is what I'm looking at. That's insanity. I mean, you made that trek a couple times for events, I believe, right?
Yeah, all the events was on the East Coast, and it wasn't just the major, it wasn't just Sydney or Brisbane or anything like that. It was like I had to fly there and then probably hire a car and drive about 2-3 hours and then play that night. So I'd leave like 4 a.m. on a Friday or whatever, and then start play at about 6-7 o'clock at night or something like that. And then we had the first comp was a knockout, so I wouldn't finish till I think it was about midnight, some of them, and probably even later than that. And then the next day we had 2 events, which started at 9 a.m. and didn't finish till like midnight again. So, if I made finals back to back and stuff like that, I was absolutely wrecked by Sunday. I'd go back to work on Monday for a break.
That's just insanity right there. So that transition's probably been a good thing for you. I wanted to kind of ask you about practice routines. When you feel like you're in a slump, is there a routine that you look back on, or is there something that you always go back to and go after it on the board?
Yeah, so I've got a regime that I got going on. It's like a weekly one, you could say, not to the T, but just what I feel like doing, and just got like a list of things that I like to do, especially every single warm up that I do before I start actually give myself a good practice. I do 10 bulls. I hit like 21 triple 20s. Then I'll hit like 20 double 16s, 20 double tops, and then check out 25 10 times. And then after that, then I'm ready to go do whatever. Like, I do a lot of checkout games, pretty much whatever I can find and stuff. But there's just particularly one that I really like is I do 101 to 130 in 6 darts, just to get that out the way. And yeah, I like doing that one.
You got to keep those routines going when you're practicing however many hours a day. I imagine 3-4 hours a day you got to put in just to kind of keep with everybody else if you're a practicer. So what's your goal?
Yeah, I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say I do 2 hours in the day, and then I'll do another 2 hours in the night. And when you're just practicing by yourself for 2 hours, that's a lot of darts. It's a real lot of darts. You're not waiting for someone else. It's just repetition. Mm-hmm. But it is tedious at times. But I find myself still enjoying practicing, and I don't. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think whoever when I come to like a big event, I've got like I'd be thinking in my head that if I'm playing, say, I don't know, playing someone like Dimmy or whoever, for argument's sake, and I'll just be thinking, you know what, he's probably practicing 3 hours doing this and this, so I'll practice 4, or you know what I mean. I'll just always just doing the extra mile, you could say, especially when it comes up to the big events.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I was going to say sorry, go ahead, Will.
I was about to say, I can only imagine, like, just having that mindset of, well, this guy could be doing more than me. I got to outdo him. So that's just what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Jen.
No, it's just it's about listening. Like when you're listening to like real, I don't know, big, you know, who's been the world #1s and stuff. Like not just in darts, but in big sports generally. You know, when you're training and you're practicing, I'm pretty sure, you know, there's been a lot of them that have said that, you know, oh, that guy's doing more than me, so I'm going to do more again. Or, you know, he wouldn't be sitting around right now. He's going to get back on the board and have a chuck. So, you know what I mean?
I totally
I'm curious, in a 2-hour session, you're talking about the pace, the turnover being much faster. Do you ever try to purposefully wait a little bit before you approach the board again, imagining, you know, you have an opponent, or do you just go?
Yeah, so in a day session, I would just go, do all my checkout routines and stuff like that. But then in the night session, I'll more than likely I'll play 501 and stuff like that, and even cricket. I play cricket. But what I do, I just play it on the iPad. You know what I mean? So you got to put your score in, and then you come back and wait till they're done, and then you have a throw. So yeah, that's what I do in the nights, and I think you have to get in sort of that game routine as well, and what momentum you want, and what sort of what do you say? Yeah, the rhythm you need to play.
Yeah, I need to soak in this because I'm that stereotypical American that wears out the bullseye before anything on a steel tip board. The doubles look pristine. Doubles are pristine by the time my bullseye is worn out. Terrible. We're terrible. You know, the Canadians, they wear the hell out of their doubles, and we're working on it. But yeah, so I've noticed dartboards they're literally getting manufactured with reinforced bullseyes because of us, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Well, when Baggish come around, he was hitting them for fun. Oh, it was insane.
Yeah.
Cricket's our game. Cricket's our game. What are we gonna say?
Yeah. But I'll let you know, I did beat him. So.
There we go. A little bash. Well, I wanted to ask, what's your goal for the next 5 years, Damon?
Well, mate, hopefully 5 years. I mean, that's a long time, isn't it? I would love to be in the top 8. Premier League and all the majors, and just being one of those big guys. You know what I mean? I don't really want to be at darts for 20 years and stuff like that. I do like living back in Australia, and I love to see, you know, my family, they're all growing up. Everyone's getting older, and I'd rather, I want to spend that time with them. So I really want to get in, do as much as I can, achieve as high as I can go. And if I feel like I'm at a stalemate, then I would just, I would have to seriously look at going back home. But And then, but in the same sense, after say 7 to 10 years or something like that, and I am right up there, I think it would be hard to try and turn down the money you're sort of guaranteed, and it's a lot of
Yeah.
money. So I think we'll wing it and see how we go, and we'll reevaluate after 7-10 because it's not just me, it's my wife as well. She's here making sacrifices, probably more sacrifices than me. So that's the big part of it as well. And yeah, and if 7-10 years in darts, that's a lot of time and sacrifice, and you know what I mean. Darts isn't really going anywhere. So we'll see. We'll just wing it.
You just have that laid back mindset. I love it. I love it, honestly, and I think that's why I love seeing you at the Aki too. I mean, your stance, your approach to the game is just relaxed, and my oh my, just that mindset
Well,
alone. Just,
it might look relaxed, mate, but I'm not.
In the head, we're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
wrecks, you
I'm
know.
trying so hard. I really try hard every time, and yeah. It just, my missus tells me all the time to relax and have fun and all that up there. But it's hard when everything's sort of on the line and you want to win and you just try that bit too hard all the time, and that just creeps into my game trying too hard. But it is what it is, and yeah, and I'll learn and get over it. But yeah.
That is an interesting topic because some players, when they're not feeling comfortable, they almost have to play with the crowd, and that gets them a little out of their head. And then others say that's gamesmanship, and there's so much back and forth about that. I'm curious, have you ever been in a situation where you just couldn't get comfortable on stage and you had to do something unorthodox to alleviate that tension?
Yeah, I think I haven't. Obviously, I've had some bad, funky games, and I don't know what's going wrong, or because when you're out in the back room, sometimes you're really good, and you probably smashing 180s for days and bullseyes, checking out everything, and you're pumped, ready to go, and then you get on stage and you don't perform at all, so it's hard, and then you second guess yourself about things, and then yeah, I think what it really takes is something like a real decent leg, or you've just broken the other guy, and you've backed it up with an 11 data, and stuff like that probably changes the game and changes your belief when you're up there. But sometimes you just get stuck in that funk, and before you know it, the other dude's just reeled off 4 legs, and you can't get back on track. And yeah, sometimes you don't know what to do. You just keep digging in deep, and hopefully things fall your way.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. One small moment in a leg can give you that competitive advantage, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's mine now. That broke that one leg.
Yeah,
I think about that all the time.
well, I just
yeah.
wanted to kind of conclude and tell you I hope that we get to see you compete at the World Series events in Australia and New Zealand. I think that'd be fun. Whether it be just a couple events or maybe all three. Hopefully you get the chance at all three. I mean, get a chance to kind of defend a title. I mean, you were 2019 Brisbane Masters champ, I believe. So yeah, kind of would be nice to lift another one in front of that home crowd. What do you think?
Oh, it'd be massive, mate. Absolute massive. And in friends, family, just even the crowd. I think the crowd now, I'm like, they might have a bit more, like of acknowledgement of the darts sort of scene and all that, and with us Australian players playing in it, and obviously, yeah, just off the back of the World Cup and how much social media sort of put that out there. I've been having interviews all week, and I'm sure Simon's been doing the same as well, and it's just being broadcast all across. So hopefully, the crowd are on board, and yeah, bring us Aussie boys to get home.
We're certainly trying to help with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's difficult to popularize players in the United States. We just don't have the same culture, but we're working on it. So we're trying to help you promote yourself a little bit, get your darts out there. And I can't let you go until I ask you a little bit about your grip and form and mechanics, because I do think you have a very unique grip. One of our better blog contributors, his name is Dax Munna from New York, amazing player, and he wrote a very in-depth blog about the different grip styles in darts and how that should guide your purchasing of barrels. And so he picked Steve Beaton as the example for a 4-finger grip, but you have your own category is dedicated to you called the Beaton Variants #2, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta do it so I can be able to even communicate it. So you've got 4-finger above, middle below, ring finger above, with the pinky kind of touching, but not on the barrel. Are you gripping into the point?
Yes,
Hold
I
on.
sort of am. Hang on. Ah, look at that. Let me jump up here and then.
Who's gonna do
Yeah.
it for
So
us?
what have I got on there? Yeah, right, I've got something here. Hang on. Oh, camera's back to front.
I know,
Is
it's
that
difficult.
how? I don't know with this camera. Oh, that's funny.
There you
All
go,
right, so
there you
There
go.
we go.
So I'm more or less. I used to be like that, like real back in the day was just like that. But then I ended up slipping this finger down just underneath, and I had my thumb just in the middle, and then this one's here is more like a guide. So I've got my. Wait, where am I? There I am. This one is just is a guide as well. So I do all my damage pretty much with just these two fingers.
Interesting.
So the other two are a
Okay.
guide, and then when I bring it back, I've got like a slight twist, and then when I
Coil,
release,
yeah.
it's like a little flick, you could say. So like it's like these fingers pull away, and then I feel it's like that.
Wow.
In my head, it feels like it probably doesn't look like that, but yeah, it sounds good. We'll roll with that.
It makes a little more sense that your pressure point's thumb and middle finger actually, which is interesting. And these just prevent the barrel from slipping and falling. But it is I have to think so hard to form that grip is why I would consider you to have a unique grip. So it's interesting to see your turnover be so fast of pulling up the barrel and getting in place and going. But yeah, it's funny. Do you think that you purposefully changed your grip over time, or did you just naturally, did your body just do that on its own?
Yeah, I just think over time, just naturally my finger. I don't know whether I just like my darts was sitting just flat, or I think with that flick now they do sit up, and that was we're talking like ages ago. So I think I've just sort of adapted into it, and then I've got more and more using that sort of technique, you could say.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. Well, I was curious how that translates into the manufacturing of your barrels. Of course, I got to try to show them here. So I've got a set of your barrels, and we've got your typical radial grooves at the top, and so that's where you just rest your forefinger, and your thumb is against kind of a smoother section, I'm assuming, in the middle, with again more not too grippy, more kind of a matte feel, because I think you need time to release all of those fingers off the dart to be able to get it out your hand, right?
Yeah, and I just went for that middle grip. I just went for nothing too aggressive, because like you'd feel if you'd rub your finger across that middle grip, it's only, you'd probably, I don't know, put it like a 2.5 out of 5 or something like that. Otherwise, I feel, because I do just that spin that little bit, I think if it was too grippy, I'd spin the hell out of it, and it just goes like, not nice in there. So it's just a nice feel.
Well,
we were lucky enough to have the Harrows guys visit our warehouse just last week. We got to meet Damien and Ewan. So it was really cool talking to your sponsors. Yeah, they visited us for the first time, and we got to chat with them, got to dinner, and of course I was like, no invite, but you were the topic of the evening. I was just like at dinner, like, so an interview with Damon Heta, maybe, and they're like, of course. And I'm happy they were able to schedule this. So shout out to Damien and Ewan with Harrows. Very cool of them.
Wicked.
Yeah, well,
good bunch of them.
I wanted to just say real quick to conclude, there were some massive points you got there. What are those, 40 millimeters? What do you got there?
Yeah, so I got 44 mil in mine. I just cut them myself. Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I don't know why. I think I was throwing with 40. I think so. Pretty much Kyle put me onto them, right? Kyle put me onto them because he was throwing some massive points as well, and he goes, "Oh, if you're using that thicker barrel, man, just have a try of these, and it's gonna open up the 60s and the triples and all that for you and all that." And I was just like, whatever. I've never used them. Don't try and change me, mate. But no. But sure enough, I just went to someone to, can you put these in for me? And put them in, and then and then I started using them, going, all right, I'll use my own. I'll get some and make my own and put all that in. And it wasn't until I ended up having, so I had these prototypes that I put in, and I just had put them in. They were 44 mil. and then I just brought like heaps of sets of like, or I got 41 mils, sorry, because that was the standard size. But and I was putting in all my new sets, and then I went back to my old set and I didn't realize until I put them close together that they were 44 rather than 41. So I just
kept chucking them.
stick with 44 now.
That definitely makes sense. I didn't realize actually how it is kind of a wider diameter. It's over 7 millimeters diameter towards the front. So having that longer point, I bet you do have a little tighter groupings. And a lot of people do love almost the carrot shape in the United States, where it's larger in the back and it tapers real fine down to the point, and they can fit a little tighter groupings. Especially with us having kind of larger hands and longer limbs. But yeah, it's a long barrel and kind of a wider diameter, so definitely unique for sure.
Yeah, I just feel it's like more ergonomical, and where I tried the straight darts. You know, I've tried a couple even more straight darts, and it just doesn't. I just feel like I'm not after a bigger barrel rather than it just feels like I'm not gripping, like having something to chuck. If you know, it just doesn't feel like I'm chucking. And my fingers, it's that little bit closer together, and it just feels unco. So yeah, definitely, that's all it was.
The way I describe it is you want to feel the weight of the dart in your hand, meaning then you teeter, you kind of tamper with diameter and weight distribution to make sure, like in the take back and release action, like you're saying, you really feel that you actually have control over the barrel and that you are guiding and directing it, propelling it out of your hand. So it makes sense with the weight of the grip.
Yep. All righty, Damon. Well, I didn't want to take up any more of your time. You gave us plenty, that's for sure. We definitely appreciate you just relaxing and having a relaxing chat with us. It was nice just to kind of get your opinion on things and kind of get behind the grip and just your thoughts on what's to come too. So I definitely appreciate it, and I know Jen does as well. What do you say, Jen?
I've got
I can't say enough.
I've got like I think we got the Euro Tour. We got the Euro Tour this weekend, and then we got like 4 Pro Tours in Barnsley. Then we got the match play after that. So it's that's a massive one. That's a pretty huge deal that I'm really hoping to do well. I'm hoping to play well. Not everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to win it. Whoever's there, you're not going in thinking you're going to lose. But I'd love to win it. But more or less, I would love to just play really well and put myself out like what I know I can play. You know what I mean? Even if I just play my average, like statistic wise that how I've been going all year, I'm bound to do all right. But I just want to like everyone. You just want to, when you're on that big stage, you want to produce your best. You want to show the world what you can do and break records and all that, and really make a name for yourself, because you'll just go further in the sport. You know what I mean? It's not only just. It's about if you like I think it was Barry Hearn was saying, you know what I mean, you perform well, you'll get paid well at the end of the day. So and a little bit of character, that doesn't hurt, does it? You know what I mean? That'll go a long way as well.
Well, we don't doubt that you've already made a name for yourself. Obviously, everything you do at the Aki, it's just adding to your historical data. I think that's compiling over time. And if you're feeling uncomfortable, just remember your pal Jen and Will have your back, and we believe in you, and it's going to be great. You're going to break that leg, and it's going to be amazing.
Massive. He is loving the support.
If you need a pick-me-up, just let us know. We'll chat with you. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah. We'll just pick you real quick.
I'll just go speak to the missus, and she'll bring me down to earth. Don't you worry.
There you go. Thanks, David. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Massive. Awesome. Cheers, guys.
See ya.
All right, see ya.
See ya.